and that cause of that consciousness came from a consciousness somewhere where you're walking down the street. Consciousness is ineffable, is clear and knowing. It's not like physical stuff. There's no way that consciousness can grow out of physical causes. And if consciousness comes from a previous moment of consciousness, then you've pretty much accepted previous lives, because it just goes on endlessly. And if you accept previous lives, then you accept future lives. In those previous lives, countless, there's no beginning to the universe for Buddhism. There's no Big Bang. If there's a Big Bang, there must be a previous Big Bang before that Big Bang. The essence of this meditation here is that everybody that you've ever met has been your mother countless times. And if they've been your mother, they've treated you with the only kind of, they've been your mother, they've been your brother, they've been your father, they've taken care of you. Although they now appear either neutral or as enemies, at one time they were your friends, and at one time they were your mothers. Mothers have given you, have loved you, have given you, like my mother. I don't even want to get that. I don't know whether it's an Italian-Irish thing with mothers, but some people it might be grandmother or father. They have cared for you like nobody else will care for you in your life. When they die, you will realize that you were loved. You'll never get that love from anybody else. It's very rare. Maybe a lover, maybe a wife, or a husband. But it's very rare that love of a good mother that gives to a child. So if these beings that you now hate or act neutrally, or all these countless suffering beings were your mother, then you have to repay that kindness. So this is one of the meditations, and you build on it. You build up to love and compassion. I mean, a good kind of love is the kind of wanting to take, good kind of love is wanting to give them happiness and every cause of happiness. And then compassion is wanting to take away their suffering and their causes of suffering. And this eventually, when you take personal responsibility for making every living being happy and take away their suffering, that is a direct cause for what we're talking about here, bodhicitta, which is this mind that you have to get enlightened. You have to have this kind of like, in the story of the Buddha, there's this one movie, Keanu Reeves plays the Buddha, and he's hanging out along the river Ganges, or some kind of river, and there's all these burnt bodies, and like his helper there is like when the body dies, it must be burnt like wood, get stiff like wood, must be burnt like wood. And he starts crying there. And he says something like, if I can reach enlightenment, let this bowl flow upstream or whatever. He makes, I guess that's a little bit later when he runs into the rice girl, but the point is that Lord Buddha made at one point, and what they call an act of truth. He said, my God, this place really sucks. If I can do something and get enlightened and get liberation, I'll give it to everybody. And it's like a most holy mind. And that Lord Buddha got it, and we all have to go that road. Then there's another way of achieving that kind of mind. And that's exchanging yourself with other people. And it's not like a bad Star Trek episode, sort of like, Kirk and some others takes over a body. It's not the point. Instead of being always into this self-cherishing mind, you kind of like think about what other people might want and need to make them happy. Instead of always focusing on yourself and your own happiness, you attempt to, as much as you can, put yourself in another person's shoes and what they might want. And the temporary benefits of this mind is that you don't have to worry about, you are always 24/7 worried about every little bit of something good that you could get. And it's always plaguing your mind. It's a good kind of like retreat from that constant me first and then gimme, what psychologists call me first and then gimme gimmes. You get it like when you're 2, somewhere around there, 2 or 3, and it did last you all your life. It may be just subtle, but me first. I want everything first. Why don't I get everything first? And this mind follows you into Buddhism. It's a poison. It's like, why didn't the Guru talk to me? Why isn't he giving me the best teaching? Why, it's like this, and it must be put to death eventually. Very happily let that mind go. And then eventually there's an 11-step method where they combine these two. When you, each of these things you meditate on for months. you start by just trying to treat every person equally in your mind, putting up in front of you different people, enemies, neutral people, friends, and trying to develop an equally good mind towards all of them. All the things I'm talking about here take months of meditation on one concept to get a firmness in that meditation. You may master renunciation and the wish, but unless you have the wisdom perceiving reality, you cannot cut the root of cyclic existence, make efforts in ways then to perceive interdependence or dependent origination. This is my favorite concept, the emptiness. Very sexy. It's not nothing. Everybody, when I hear this Buddhist emptiness, man, must be nihilism or nihilism. It's not nothingness. Western philosophical traditions might call it deconstructionism, the ability to take apart your reality and deconstruct it and look for its essence. Now he says here to seek dependent origination. Why? Because dependent origination, you get that realization before you have a direct perception. And the goal of a Buddhist practitioner is to have a direct perception of emptiness. This direct perception of emptiness is to see in deep meditation the fundamental lack of inherent existence in all phenomena. No object, whether people, place, or things, or even things in your mind, have any inherent nature. They don't hold an essence. They don't hold an essence, they change. If they truly held an essence, they would be independent of causes and conditions. Buddhism says that everything has causes and conditions. Your body comes from your mommy and daddy, and food and all this kind of things. There is no independence. When you reach about 18 years old here in the West, you want to get out of the house and go to school and become independent. You are dependent upon finances. You are dependent upon food and water. You are dependent upon your professors filling you up with knowledge. You are dependent upon bad talk shows and bad TV shows to fill your day. You are dependent upon everything. There is no independence. It is an illusion. That is one type of interdependence. Another type of interdependence is that you're dependent upon your parts. That there is no you that you can pull up of the various types of parts of you. No longer causes and conditions, but you can dissect you into your various parts. Where is the David Joseph Sykes amongst the torso, the legs? And that is not the highest dependent origination they're talking about here. The highest dependent origination they're talking about here is the fact that there are colors and shapes displayed right here in front of me in the form of Renee. And my mind, I first give her a name, I might call her Lady, and then I give her a mental image, and that mental image is being forced on me. It's not like I choose to give her that name, or that mental image is being forced on me by my past lives and my karma, the mental impressions I put in my mind. That is the highest understanding of, loosely in a blurb sort of format, the highest under. And because of that, that can change. That's a way to liberation. That dependent origination, you can change those mental impressions and change the mental image in your mind and change your reality. Right now we have shitty causes that create shitty results that produce very shitty reality. The point of Buddhist practice is to attain perfect causes, to attain perfect results, and to achieve a perfect kind of reality. Buddhists don't have to go to a heaven somewhere, like a Muslim paradise. I believe you get 800 virgins or something like that, and mountains of rice pilaf and rivers of yogurt in the Muslim paradise. Not so bad, the virgin part.